Hi, so welcome to section 4, video 21, and in this video we're going to be covering website structure and content. Again, this is a really important thing, and even though it's not that related to keyword research, I wanted to include it because it is an important consideration when it comes to optimizing your website and improving SEO performance. So there are a few things I want you to consider when looking at website structure and content. First thing is you want to make sure that all of the pages on your website are linked to within the main navigation. And it's surprising how often I see this not be the case. Now, the reason you want this to happen is because when Google is crawling your website and determining which pages to actually rank on its search results, if it can't find your pages because they're not linked to the navigation and they're not including the sitemap, then it means that, it can't find your pages, it can't rank them. So you want to make sure that all of your pages are at least linked to within your website. That can be in the main navigation, but it can also be in your blog pages. And what I would suggest is if you are looking at your main pages, so the main pages you want it to rank for, they should probably be in the main navigation and make it really easy for Google to find them. This way as well, that any SEO value that your website has garnered can be passed through onto these pages as well. Now, this is sometimes called link equity. All that's to say, you want to make sure that all the pages are linked to in your navigation, or at least the main pages are linked to in your navigation. It's also important to have enough content on the pages you want it to rank for, and I'd suggest at least 400 words as a proxy figure. And again, ideally, you want these pages to be in EAT style content. Now, we'll cover this more in the bonus, one of the bonus videos of this course, but to give you a heads up, EAT just stands for, it's an acronym, and it stands for expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And these are three really important metrics that Google looks at when determining the quality of your content. So expertise is basically saying, is this author that's written this content, are they credible? Do they have expertise in this field? And what Google does very cleverly is it'll look at all of the other content this author has produced by looking at the other articles they've produced, for example, and it will determine, based on where this author is found on other websites, how much of an expert they are in their field, and look at all the content they've produced. Similar story with authoritativeness. So again, are you an authority in your space? Are other websites linking to your content because you are providing value? If this is the case, then and other people linking to your particular page, then that is something, again, it shows authority. And trustworthiness, again, kind of linking back to, is this content trustworthy? Can I depend on it? And again, losing things here like credible sources, linking to other credible sources within your content, this sort of thing. So bearing all this in mind, you want to make sure that, you have at least 400 words of content, preferably more. The more the better, really, as long as it's focused and targeted, and you want it to be in EAT style content. Like I mentioned, we'll cover EAT more in the bonus of this course. And then finally, something else to consider, which is what we do as a strategy in my company, is we look to target questions or have questions in our content and to try and target them for rich snippets. So if you may remember earlier in this course, when looking at rich snippets, they're essentially the things that you would typically see at the top of search engine results pages, and they are simply questions that other people are asking. So for example, if I was searching for what are the best diet plans for men, then someone else might be searching for male diet plans, and that could be a featured snippet. So we want to try and include questions so we can try and rank for those featured snippets. I'll show you this more in practice right now, as we're going to jump to one of the pages that I've been working on for Exante to show you how we've included or used these guidelines here that I've gone through to try and optimize this page. Okay, so as you can see, we're now back on this Exante page, which is looking at meal replacement shakes, page you will have seen before in this course. And I wanted to show some important things about this page and the content on this page, and then looking at the overall website structure of Exante. So looking at the content then. So if I scroll down to the bottom, which is where the bulk of the content is and the most important SEO content is, I wanted to pick out some things in terms of how we've structured this content. So you can see it's over 400 words, and previously, prior to actually working on the content on this page, it wasn't 400 words, it was probably less than 200. So we've extended the content just so Google has got more content to play with, and actually there's more keywords we can include in the content. And the other important thing is, as well as obviously threading in the keywords, as we've mentioned previously, I want to look at these headings. So how do we decide what these headings should be, and how did we decide what these questions should be? Now, I've talked about using SEMrush before in the keyword magic tool, and I wanted to show you this in a bit more detail. So what I'm going to do, go back to SEMrush, and I'm going to go to the keyword magic tool. And as you can see here, I've already got in mirror replacement shakes, which is very handy because that's what I want it to look for. And we're going to toggle to this questions part. So instead of just spitting out loads of keywords, it's just going to spit out keywords that are questions and what people are searching for. So the first one I'm going to look at here, do mirror replacement shakes work? So if we go back to the Exante page, what you'll see is if I scroll down, we've got this keyword here, or this heading, do mirror replacement shakes work? That is no coincidence. This is SEO in action, because what we've done is we've recognized that people are searching for this, do mirror replacement shakes work? And we've used this to structure the content on this page. So we can then get our experts at Exante to actually write content based on this information. So you can see here, in order to lose weight, your body needs to be in a calorie deficit, so ensure all our shakes and soups are 200 to 250 calories. And then it continues to explain this, and actually continues to give details about do mirror replacement shakes work. So yeah, no accident, essentially. We have, as people in our business, SEO people, we've decided do mirror replacement shakes work? That's a keyword we want to try and target. And if we do really well, that could rank as a featured snippet in the Google search results. If I scroll down a little bit further, you can see there's some other keywords here, and I want to go back to SEMrush now to show you some of the other things that we've included. So we didn't include this one, what is the best mirror replacement shake, because it's a very biased thing. You can't really include that on a landing page. However, what we could have is, can a protein shake replace a meal? However, if I scroll down a little bit further, what we'll see is, can I use a protein shake as a meal replacement? And this is a keyword, again, we have used here. And again, no coincidence. We wanted to structure our content like this to try and rank for some of these keywords as featured snippets. So that is the content, and that's essentially how we structured it. So just to kind of quickly recap that, using question keywords from SEMrush to use as subheadings, and then writing information and text based on this, and then trying to get at least 400 words of copy onto a page we're trying to rank for. And that's what we've done. So looking now at the overall navigation of this website, I mentioned that we want to try and, or we should at the very minimum, have all of the key landing pages in the main navigation. So that's what we have here. So here, the meal replacement shakes page, which I've just shown you, is linked to in the main navigation, along with all the other main product pages. So if I go to this one, which is meal replacement meals, you can see a very similar structure to the previous page. We have a bunch of products. So we typically could call this a product list page. And if we go all the way down, we don't actually have as much content here. So that's something we can definitely improve upon. Go to another example. We could have our bars page. So I'll show you this page. Again, very similar structure, content at the top, and then we have more content at the bottom, as you can see right there. So that's important to note. And if we don't have these pages linked to in the website, Google can't really find them, or it makes it more difficult for Google to find these pages. So that's where we want to try and do that. Something else to note, which isn't really anything we've talked about previously, is when we're trying to rank for a particular page, it can be helpful to actually have the main keyword as what we call the anchor text. So here, shakes is the anchor text, and obviously it links to that mirror replacement shakes page. And what I've tried to push, and my colleague has tried to push as well, is actually having mirror replacement shakes here as the anchor text. So not having shakes there as the word, actually having mirror replacement shakes. Now, brand has pushed back on this because it argues, or the brand team rather has pushed back on this because they argue, well, we've already got mirror replacements here as a main heading, and just having mirror replacement shakes is kind of duplicating things, and it looks a little bit messy. And that's a fair point. And actually, as people in SEO, we face this sort of kind of back and forth quite a lot. So as SEO people, we want to obviously optimize the website to get organic rankings, but from a brand perspective, it doesn't always work that nicely with SEO. So yeah, there is a bit of a back and forth to be had there. Anyway, these are just some things I wanted to pick out in terms of website structure and navigation and content. Hope you found this video useful. I'll see you in the next one.